Hey guys, TronKat here, and I'm with my friend, who we've been playing Resistance with for the past couple of days. And today, well, we're reviewing Resistance 3. Who would have guessed? Now, this is still going to be a normal review, so don't worry. Now, okay, I'm going to start first, then he's going to say something. Don't worry. Okay, first we're going to start off with the story, which, in my opinion, my personal opinion, it was the weakest part of the, game. It sort of felt just bland. Like, I didn't really care about anybody, and I didn't care about any of the events that were going on. It just kind of felt like it was pushing the game forward. I mean, yeah, I didn't really feel anything with it. I mean, what about you?
Well, I did mainly with just Joe Capelli and his wife, but then as you mentioned, this none of the characters really acknowledged the co-op character John, except for the gun range guy in the very beginning of the game. He's the only guy that acknowledges John. And well, Joe himself does. When he gets down, they'll call each other's names out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the story was okay. It's just really just you're just going through and then just shoot a bunch of random enemies until you get to the end. Really, I mean, at least in the second one, they actually had a story, and then it's like they're like you gotta go here, here, and here, and there's actually dialogue. Where this one is just kind of like you're in one area or next, and there's a little. They talk to each other, but it's not anything you really want to hear about. It's just really just kind of chit chat.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. It felt really just bland. Like, I mean, with the other resistances, it felt really, like, put there for a reason, but this time it just felt like a side thought.
On a bigger scale, you feel like you were not the main central part of the game. Like, you were the main character, but you weren't like, you could tell there's more happening around you. But in this one, it really felt like you're pretty much alone besides your co-op character and a few resistance characters in the beginning, and then you run to a couple more, like the preacher and the religious people.
Yeah. Yeah, there was there was a couple different groups of people, but then you only saw most of them for about 20, 30 minutes of the game. So, yeah.
And they just disappear. Well, besides Elvis and his group, which they all pretty much die off.
Well, I don't think they died. No, they were,
No,
well, most of them except for
most of them
actually
died.
Elvis and Alex.
You mean Alice?
What was his name, Alice? I thought it was Alex.
What? I did not. Did the redhead die? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't really see anybody die. I just know that,
Well, I know one guy died when he got the power core, but that was about it.
yeah. But, anyway, we're not gonna spoil any of it. But, anyway, back to the, a little bit more of the review. Next, I guess we can talk about some of the graphics, which, in, I think, both of our opinions, maybe it's, like, the best part of this game. At least in my opinion it was. I don't know about you, but,
Yeah, definitely. The graphics were just really good. I mean, they were a big step up from Resistance 2, which was okay, but this one just blew me away. To me, it looked better than Battlefield 3, but I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. Mainly PC people, because they get a lot better engine, but as far as console, this game blows the hell out of, Gears of War and Alan Wake and definitely Halo.
yeah, I totally agree. Like, I was... The first time I played this game, I was so surprised, because I had heard so many things about this game, but the one thing I never heard anything about was the graphics, and Resistance has never really been known for great graphics, and this time around...
No, it's always been up for gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, it was always known for, the aliens and all that crap, and then, this time around, it's, no one acknowledges it, but the graphics are a huge step up. They wowed me, especially the cutscene graphics. Gameplay graphics were still phenomenal, but cutscene graphics just... I was just sitting there in awe at how amazing they looked. I mean, it's even up there to Uncharted 3 standards. I mean,
It's pretty close to Uncharted 3.
it really is. It really surprised me.
The only thing that wasn't really good with the graphics, I don't know if this graphics are more of animation, but the way the characters climbed up stuff just looked kind of awkward.
Yeah, a lot of the character animations were a little off. I do agree with that. And we did encounter a couple glitches ourselves, actually. That was a little bit more with gameplay than animation, but there was also some animation glitches that looked really funny.
Yeah, definitely. character's leg kind of just disappeared. I couldn't like it almost looked. I thought his leg got ripped off, but it was literally like just in the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one time that kind of freaked me out.
Yeah. And the Stalker only had 3 legs, even though they normally have 4. That was really weird. I don't know if you noticed that when we were just doing that, but Stalker only had 3 legs.
Oh, was that for our second playthrough?
That was the one that we just got the trophy on. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, besides that, the graphics just there's barely any glitches with the graphics. I mean, besides some kind of really weird animation, and well, that's about it. I mean, the graphics are just phenomenal. This game should really get praised more for them.
Just a little graphical quirks here and there.
Yeah, but besides that, they're great. But anyway, now I guess on to the gameplay part, which first we'll talk about single player, then go on to multiplayer. The single player, like, okay, I'm gonna say this really quick. This really disappointed me. In my opinion, it was just really disappointing to me. I mean, not that it wasn't good gameplay, because I mean, it's got solid controls. They did just sort of kind of cheap it and just go Call of Duty controls, because you can tell. Because they used to have completely unique graphics. I mean, not controls, and now their controls are just so Call of Duty-ized, and even the gameplay just feels very generic. Like I was playing it and just feeling bored, kind of. Like not really bored. It just in the first game you got to drive a bunch and you got to do a bunch of other stuff like turrets and stuff. In this game, you just shoot. You just run around and shoot. There's nothing really besides that. I mean, you get
the same thing you did in the second one, though. It was pretty much the same thing. You just run around and shoot. There's nothing really different about the second, third one, except in the third one, your weapons actually upgrade after a while if you keep using them.
Yeah.
Because this game's made by Insomniac, and if you play an Insomniac game before, like Ratchet and Clank, you know your guns are gonna get upgraded real quick.
Yeah.
To keep using them.
Which I still love. Which that was my favorite part about this game, is that you got the wheel back. You got the weapon wheel back, where if you pick up a weapon, you get to keep it. Except for if something happens in the story where you lose them. But I loved that. The weapon wheel was such a great thing in the first one and all the Ratchet and Clank games, and they took it away in the second one, and everybody was disappointed, and they brought it back, made me really happy. And now that you can again upgrade your weapons, and I think you could do that in the second one, if I'm not mistaken. Couldn't you?
Upgrade your weapons?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't upgrade your weapons in the second one.
Oh, okay. But anyway, yeah. But that was one of my favorite parts, was getting to upgrade my weapons. Just the fun of like having to use all the weapons to get them upgraded, like having to like try out everything and have fun using them. That was really nice.
Oh, I remember in co-op in the second one, your weapons upgrade as you use them more and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you must be thinking. Is in the second one's co-op, that's where you upgrade them.
Yeah. And so, what are your thoughts on the gameplay?
Oh, I thought they were awesome. It was solid gameplay. It was really fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, it was, personally to me, it felt a lot more fluid. I know people don't really like that arcadey feel. They like the more kill zone. This is more going,
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that better. I don't really care for those weighty feels. I like the just really nice fluid gameplay with. And meleeing people felt really good too in that one. Like it feels so much more responsive in this game. Actually, meleeing the Chimera and then other human enemies than in other games. Like Killzone, it feels like when you melee in that game, sometimes it just feels like it's kind of off. I mean, with 3 they fixed that with the brutal takedowns, but the second Killzone definitely kind of ruined that.
Yeah.
But this was really good.
Okay.
And I do miss that there was no vehicles like that. I don't know why they took vehicles out. They were such a good addition to the first one, and they just completely took it out of this one and the last one. There's no vehicle sequences at all.
Yeah.
Not even a turret sequence.
Yeah. That was weird. But
I mean, the only thing close to the turret sequence was when you were on the mining car. That was about the only one.
Yeah. That part was fun. But anyway, so I guess really the last thing to talk about is the multiplayer. For the most part, yeah, the multiplayer. Now, the multiplayer, I've had a lot of fun with it. I think I remember telling you guys that already. I was having a lot of fun with the multiplayer when I was first playing it. Now, like, I do love, like, getting to, use all the guns, and even in multiplayer, the weapon wheel is still there. That's a really cool idea. Like, if you kill someone, they have a different weapon than you pick it up, and if you don't die, you get to keep the weapon for as long as you live. I really like that, and also, the, just, like, everybody on the community is really nice in the multiplayer, and it's just really an inviting environment, because a lot of multiplayer games, you get a lot of people who just are really mean.
Uncharted and Modern Warfare.
Yeah, big time Uncharted and Modern Warfare. You get some major jerks in the multiplayer. They just sit there and just scream at you, and just like call you, like they just call you like terrible things and just like scream at you. I mean, I understand it's the competitive nature of those games, but
it's funny because like the Resistance community just doesn't seem to care. They more care about like teamwork, whereas in Uncharted it's just yelling about getting the kill. That people don't really use teamwork in Uncharted. They just kind of just run around and do nothing, and that's pretty much the same with Modern Warfare, if you ask me. But
yeah,
it seems like I know I bash Halo here and there, but at least Halo people actually go for the objective, unlike Uncharted and such. But this game, I haven't played that much of the multiplayer, but it's still, so far, really good.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it too. Now, one thing I will say that I'm really disappointed in with the multiplayer is, honestly, not the lack of content, because there is a bunch of maps straight off the bat. Like, with this multiplayer, I think there's like, what, 12? 10 maps? Something around there?
I've only played on maybe like 6 or 7 so far.
Yeah, I haven't even played on all of them, to be honest. I looked them up just to see what all of them were, but there's a bunch of maps. I was really surprised. But besides that, there just doesn't feel like to be a lot there. I mean, there's like, you can customize your class, but in each class, there's not that much to customize. And, I mean, there's a lot of skins and stuff, but there's like only like a couple game types, and really only like 3 or 4. No, like 2 or 3 that people really play. And multiplayer is the only thing. There's no like separate co-op campaign.
Well, now, at least with the Resistance community, Insomniac actually takes ideas from the community and they'll plant them into a special weekend. I mean, Uncharted tried a special weekend as well. I mean, and Killzone never did that, but Uncharted tried to do that, but it was kind of just really stupid game types like Desert Eagles with like 8 shots and that's all you get.
Yeah.
There's none on the map.
But
we haven't really tried the survival mode yet.
Yeah, that's one thing. But that's DLC, right?
That's
not
DLC.
Yeah, okay,
so that
yeah.
doesn't really count.
Yeah, I was talking about like, but there is still the, of course, online cooperative game, online cooperative campaign. You can play the main campaign, the single player. You can play it competitive or cooperatively online.
Or online.
Yeah, split screen and online, which I really liked because a lot of games just, for some stupid reason, just don't seem to do that. Like, for example,
3.
Killzone 3 was the biggest one because this is 2011. People, we should realize that if there's split screen, there should also be online campaign. And also Resistance 1, of course, did it, but understandably because that was still the beginning of this generation, and they were building up to it.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, Resistance 2. I mean, every single Resistance game besides the first one, which came out, what, 2006, right?
Yeah.
Resistance 2 even had split screen. I mean, there was no single-player co-op, but there was its own special co-op inside Resistance 2.
I really do miss that, though. I wish they would have done that with this one, too. I really wish they would have brought that back.
I like the few. I mean, I wouldn't mind that co-op mode to return, but as far as the massive amount of people that can play in the second one, I don't miss that at all.
Oh, I completely agree. Besides the fact that there was like a separate co-op campaign on the second one, there's not really much I miss about the multiplayer. The multiplayer in this one, I'm just going to wrap it up right now by saying that the multiplayer in this one has basically has really improved on the whole aspect of the Resistance multiplayer. It used to be massive amounts of players, but it just doesn't work for Resistance. They just didn't really let it work. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I didn't really feel that they did it right, unlike Like, I'm just gonna make a reference here.
And you died
Mag.
way too fast in the second one.
Yeah, like, games like Mag were okay with a lot of people, but Resistance feels a lot better with the small amounts of players instead of the 60.
Definitely, because they make Resistance so much more like Halo, and Halo's usually a really small man team game. I mean, of course there's up to 8 players, but I think that's the best way to go with it.
Yeah, it really is.
Gameplay-wise. Because the second one's just a clusterfuck of retardedness.
It really is.
I mean, the spawns are horrible in that too.
Oh yeah, they were. But anyway, back to Resistance 3. Now, I think we've covered pretty much the most of it. I guess we can go ahead and give our final impressions of the game. If you want to start this one off, you can.
With the score. I would definitely have to give a solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. There were, of course, the graphical glitches and such, and the story was kind of weak, but I still enjoy the hell out of the gameplay.
Okay, yeah,
and the graphics.
Big time. Now, with me, it's sort of a mixed bag with me. On one hand, you have like it's the story that really didn't do anything for me. Like the previous ones felt like the story was there, and the environment felt a little better because this time it just felt a little off to me with with all that. But it still did have, really I do agree, smooth and still pretty fun gameplay, even though it was kind of just I just felt like they could have done a little bit more with it. That I know Insomniac, they do so much great stuff with other games that they've made, even other games in the Resistance series, that I really feel that they could have brought a little more. I'm still a huge fan of this game. I still say to anybody that liked the first two, you would definitely like this one. And I'm gonna have to give it I'm gonna say a 7.5. It was really, really fun. No, you know what? No, scratch that. I'm gonna go with what my friend here said, and give it an 8. I mean, yes, the story's really lackadaisical, and that takes it down to at least a 9, because a 9.5. It's just really bland, and then it didn't really feel like the gameplay did too much. And
besides the upgradable weapon.
Yeah, besides the upgradable weapon coming back, which was really nice, but I don't know, I just feel like they could have done more with it. I mean, I've seen what they can do, and it just doesn't feel like they lived up to their potential with either of the games that they released this year. So, I guess, yeah, 2 8s. That's pretty close, yeah. I mean, that's really what I feel this game deserves. So, you have anything else to say?
We the exact same opinions on this one.
Yeah, we really felt pretty close ground on this one. But anyway, so yeah, you have anything else to say, or are you good?
I'd have to say, if you really like just fun, smaller paced games and they're still quick paced, but not like overblown like Call of Duties, where just stuff is falling out of the sky and just blowing up, and you just want a game kind of relaxed to. This is definitely a game to pick up.
Yeah, this was a really fun game, and I would definitely suggest, if you can't afford it, at least a rent. It's definitely a fun game to play. So anyway, guys.
I believe this game has went down in price as well.
Oh, it did? Okay. Well, there you go. So if you haven't picked it up, now's a great time. It really is. So anyway, I guess we're done here. What? Redbox?
That's it. Yeah, Redbox.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they only do movies.
No, actually, they do games now. It's only $2 just to play all those reviews now.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go. So we're done here. Ow. And I will see you guys later. More reviews coming soon.
Have a good one.